Could you repeat the first question?
Of course. So my first question was, in that section about from deception to obedience, you talked about how people are often led into deception by those closest to them, like Adam was. So I'm wondering how you see that playing out in today's church. Do you think modern Christian communities also face similar risks of being misled from within?
Of course, there are always individuals within the church that try to deceive us into thinking that partial obedience alone is sufficient. So that's why Jude chapter 1 verse 3 urges us to contend for the faith, the way of faith, because there are certain men who change God's grace into shameful acts.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. And it ties right into what Jude was cautioning about. The idea that we have to actively contend for the true faith, because sometimes the misleading voices come from inside the community. So yeah, I definitely agree there's a modern parallel. All right, let me throw you another question. How do you think we can practically contend for the faith today, especially in the face of these internal deceptions?
So we should be strictly equipped. We should be thoroughly equipped with the Word of God so that we can stand firm against deception. Also, it is essential for Christian community to warn one another against disobedience and sin, so that they will not be led into a deceitfulness of sin.
Absolutely. That's a great point. Being deeply grounded in the word really is our best safeguard against being misled, and having that community accountability is key. We really do have to lovingly warn and encourage each other so that we stay on track. All right, let's keep going. Here's another question for you. In light of the passages you shared, how do you see the balance between God's grace and the call for wholehearted obedience?
So we have been saved from sin by the grace of God, but it is our responsibility to maintain this grace and also the strength to obey the word of God until the end, until we face judgment before God.
Yeah, I think that's a really thoughtful way to put it. God's grace definitely saves us, but there's also that genuine call to live it out in obedience. So it's like both go hand in hand. We rely on grace, and then out of gratitude and faith, we strive to obey fully. Thanks for diving into that. Let me know if you want to keep going or explore another angle.